Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem The Last Promise, 0% growth, low turn count. In this video we're tackling Chapter 10, the final chapter of Siegfried mode. Now, I want to be honest here, this chapter did not take me nearly as long as I thought it would be, however there are some things that probably could be done to improve it. You probably could visit the Angelic Robe shop with the units that I leave over on one side, however they do a tiny bit of self-improvement. Also, because I forgot to record it in the prep screen, Shuda takes the Angelic Robe finally. Arguably, it should go to Inanna or to Sean, because if it goes to either of them, they can survive what they're supposed to survive in this chapter, guaranteed. But it doesn't particularly matter, it just means I need to do a little bit of rigging, which I need to do for an enemy phase anyway. And the Angelic Robe would have made Sean's chance of success for survival 100%. However, it also, well, not 100%, it would have made it a lot better, but it would have, it wouldn't have changed much in the long run. By the way, Sean does need the Angelic Robe for this. Not the Angelic Robe, the Energy Ring for the strategy to work. And here we go. This is the final chapter of this, Siegfried mode, so this is the last time some of these units will be seen for a while, and this is the last time some units will be deployed. On turn 1, Arthur and Storm team up to kill a Steel Axe fighter, which is something that Arthur actually doubles. I'm very careful about what I do here because this is already a very RNG-based chapter. Krash shows his combat worth right away by one-rounding a mercenary with a steel bow, doubling him, not steel bow, short bow. He does not need the crit. He either needs one hit, he either needs 2 hits or one miss, one crit. It doesn't particularly matter. This formation here allows me to safely take on the enemies to the right while also pushing forward to the right. The left, fighting enemies on the left while pushing forward to the right. The most direct path through this chapter is having Inanna rescue Sean and Siegfried and carry them up to the top. However, the two of them don't stand a chance against the boss. Rescue chaining Haas up there would help tremendously, because he can help with the boss, but I would also need to get Shuda up there. Due to how the rescuing would work, it would take 6 turns at least, because of rescuing and dropping, in order to seize, and Inanna would have a ridiculously high chance of death. This strategy is slightly more reliable, however the boss kill is still fairly unreliable. Haas being a nomad trooper and not a ranger means he gets access to, 1, +1 move, and 2, reduced forest movement, which does come in really handy. During this first enemy phase, I take on the enemies to the right, to the left, and kill a single one on the right, because the short bow's 1-2 range. Storm was supposed to use Stormbringer there, but it doesn't particularly matter because Sean's attack is still the same. He breaks the piercing sword here. He does not need it for the rest of the map. This is the one enemy he could kill with it. Haas goes up and breaks a snag with a short bow. He could have used the steel bow, but originally in the strategy, it helped manipulate some AI. Noah was supposed to have the hand axe equipped there, because again, that was originally in the strategy. You'll see multiple strategies at play. Here, you'll see things from different strategies, like for instance, making sure Noah has a steel sword equipped. Next turn, that's just because in an old strategy he had a hand axe and killed an enemy. He helped kill the troubadour, rather. Shuda kills the mercenary, Kevin attacks that mercenary. Siegfried moves over and gets healed by Tsumiko. Arthur originally was supposed to trade. Sean originally used an Iron Lance to kill that troubadour, but the piercing sword does not. He can break the piercing sword and it's more accurate, so it doesn't particularly matter. Albrand's RNs here and trades Corbin to the Emblem Lance because one of those mercenaries has a Zanbato, and if he hits any other attack, will end up killing Corbin. That mage up there, you may have noticed he has a Siege Tome. If he ever hits Sean, it's an instant game over because it is a guaranteed one-shot. The Angelic Robe on him would guarantee survival against it, but he would still need a heal in order to perform what he does later in the map. Shuda's combat is still really strong this late in Siegfried mode. He's still being able to take the brunt of the work. At the start of this phase, Sia gets her last kill in probably the game, honestly. and kills his hand-bottom mercenary that Corbin dealt a lot of damage to with the Emblem Lance. Then Al does something special. He uses the Iron Blade here. Not for the power, he would have gotten the crit anyway with the Iron Sword, but it gives him exactly enough weapon experience to get him to C-rank swords. There's a point later in the map where he uses the Iron Blade as well, so he could have used the Iron Blade plus these, he could use the Iron Sword there and then the Iron Blade later, but it doesn't particularly matter. I should mention that after the boss kill, the last couple actions besides seizing are improvisation, because I was just like, oh, I can do a tiny bit more self-improvement, and I was just trying to see who can do it safely. Haas uses the 1-2 range of the short bow to keep himself pushing forward while also being able to counter 1-2 range units. As me making sure he had the sword equipped, he needs it to one-run that mercenary. Well, he doesn't need it to one-run the mercenary, he needs it for the accuracy to do so. This formation here doesn't particularly matter. It just allows me to get my units into the positions where they will need to be. And Corbin moves up because he would be targeted by the Boltzing and uses the Vulnerary. Most of the units on the left don't see combat again for the rest of the map. I say most of because Storm and Corbin do see combat. Al sees one round of combat, Sia sees one round of combat. Kevin and Shooter are done for combat contributions for this part of the game. Inanna burns an RN here. This is so that Storm can hit twice with the Stormbringer against this mage, with 66 hit. I want that bolting mage dead as soon as possible. Noah goes up and one-rounds a Troubadour with Steel Sword with only 75% accuracy. I could have given him an Iron Sword to guarantee it. Well, not guarantee it, but made its accuracy better, but it doesn't particularly matter. Corbin uses the Emblem Lance, and his, that's the last enemy he'll ever double in the game, most likely. And Haas uses a short bow to once again one-round an enemy. You may notice he has an Iron Sword. That's a holdover from an older strategy. That was before I actually ran the damage calculations on the boss and realized that it's, exact. Now, to mention the boss kill, because it's what Sean needed the Penalty Ring for, you may be wondering, why does Sean need to get the boss kill? He needs it for his upgraded personal weapon, the Sylvans. If he doesn't kill Pelennor here, he doesn't complete his quote-unquote man's journey, and therefore doesn't unlock his upgraded Sylvans. You may be wondering, what's the point of that? Well, with Sylvans, he can get his last... It's very easy for him to get his last level in the chapter where he gets Sylvans, and then he can promote to have be an 18-8 mounted unit. Haas does some more combat on this, and Noah hits a knight twice with a hand axe. Noah kills this armor knight with a single hit from the steel axe. In case you haven't noticed yet, my joke about the 5,000 gold being able to let me buy more angelic robes and needing the Lance Reaver at low uses, they were exactly that, just jokes. Anyway, Haas uses a killing edge to weaken this, to kill this general rather. He needs one of two crits to do it. This is the reason I joked about needing the Lance Reaver, was that he could one-run the Cavalier and then queue up a killing edge, the Cavalier with the Horse Lair. That's not a 2-use, a low use, but it doesn't particularly matter. If you didn't notice, it got done to 1 use 2 maps ago, and I didn't comment on it. By the way, this is being recorded on February 5th, 2022, which is 2 days after I figured out Chapter 8 and 9, so it didn't take me nearly as long as I thought. Can I save a turn on this map with like how I could on the other map? Well, on the Chapter 8. Theoretically, yes, but I'm not willing to do it because it requires a lot of rigging. There is one map that requires a lot of rigging that I'm willing to try to tie the low turn count record in Groats. That's Chapter 20. However, it needs a ridiculous amount of rigging. The Lance Reaver just would have kept Haas healthy enough because but it doesn't particularly matter. I'm pretty sure he dodges the boss in here anyhow. Speaking of the boss, Pelennor is really, really bulky. He has 40 HP, like 12-ish defense. He uses a Prism Sword, just 1-2 range. He's on a throne. He's just all around annoying. Well, a gate, not a throne, but he's all around really annoying. You may notice that Sean is up there. Sean being cavalry really helps because it means he's able to do what he does this turn. Also, he Storm shoots up his mage to one, get a little tiny bit of weapon experience, because he may actually be getting the promotion in Anakin mode, now that I actually look at it. In Anakin mode, his stats will be kind of mediocre, but he will also have 18 move when promoted, meaning that he can drop Frederick from Sean. Not to mention, he will be an 8 move mounted unit. Sean will actually only have 7 move. Either way, Haas kills a general in one shot with the Killing Edge, and then Inanna burns 4 RNs and then picks up Siegfried. This is the second to last turn in the chapter, and the second to last turn in the Siegfried mode. Siegfried equips the Killer Lance to 1 round a Cavalier in this enemy phase. Well, not 1 round, finished off a Cavalier. And Arthur moves up and heals to bait that Warrior over. Originally, he got the kill on this Warrior with a low % crit, but my strategy had to be revised because I accidentally burnt a few extra RNs and couldn't figure out where. The Killer Lens crit there doesn't particularly matter, it's just a tiny bit of, it's just a little convenient. Anyway, this strategy right here. Haas needs to hit Pelennor twice with 68% hit and 38% crit. 38 or 28, I forget what it is. And he has to not crit either attack. If he crits Pelennor, he one-shots him, which is bad. However, if he hits twice with the Killing Edge because he deals 12 damage, he deals 16 damage, he gets Pelennor down to low enough HP that Sean can finish him off with an energy ring boosted Killing Edge crit. Haas moves over and 1 rounds this mage. It doesn't particularly matter. I just noticed you could do it, and I figured why not. My weapon uses don't matter here anymore. Inanna burns 13 RNs here. This is to set up the boss kill. And then Sean walks up. I turn on animations just because I felt it felt more proper than using the patch. And I show the conversation because it's going to be the first time that will actually be, well, it'll be the last time for a while that a boss conversation actually helps a bit. And I'm not necessarily sure if it requires, if the conversation is required for Sean's upgraded personal weapon. Either way, yeah. With the energy ring, Sean deals exactly 12 damage with a critical hit. Without the energy ring, Haas would need to get hit 3 times with the Haas would need to hit twice with the Killing Edge, hit again with the short bow, which has 76% accuracy, and then not crit, and then miss once. So he'd either need 1 use short bow, or he needs to not crit. If Al crit there, which was originally the plan, Arthur would have been able to get the kill on the Warrior and gotten his last, he would have gotten to level 9. I show the weapon ranks and levels of every unit. Sean is close to promotion. Fuda is able to promote. Yeah, he would have gotten to level 10 rather. Storm is very close to promotion. Al is level 7. Noah is level 2. Tamiko is level 6. Corbin level 5. Inanna level 4. Kevin 6. Sia 3. Haas 6. And Siegfried 7. And that's the end of Siegfried mode. Starting next time will be in Anakin mode, after the interlude, which I'm not going to be including in this playthrough. In Anakin mode, our main lord switches over to, believe it or not, Anakin, who is a very helpful unit.